If you were to look up a top 10 list of things children hate, number 3 right underneath their parents and playtime with Uncle Robert would probably be school. If you asked me to name a rivalry more iconic than kids and the public education system, I wouldn't be able to because there isn't one. Ever since governments thought having a smarter population would be a good idea, kids have had to go through the torture that's known as school. Now, if we glance back at that list, a couple places down, it also says that kids hate commercials interrupting their Five Nights at Freddy's game theories. Whatever that means. And corporations thought, hey, wouldn't it be a fantastic idea to mix the two things together? Because profiting on young kids' false hope that somehow this year is going to be better than every year prior always works every time. You could really use the time in between late August to early September to market anything as a back-to-school item. Backpacks? Yup. Shoes? Of course! This mug that says Ako Taco? Sure, why not? The world's your oyster and I'm just living in it. Some of these stores don't even bother to try to hide what they're doing and just have a blatant back-to-school sale on completely unrelated items like a, vacuum. Grocery stores are suddenly filled with books and binders and some random cartoon character being in or driving a school bus. And who could forget the signs that are designed to look like a pencil, because you ain't with those! These are always the corniest displays ever, and somehow they all manage to look exactly the same. I googled back to school shopping and I swear I've been there before. And another thing I noticed is that every single shelf is yellow because it looks like a pencil and you're right with those. Anyway, let's get back on topic, shall we? Back to school commercials, also known as the most fake and force-feeling things in existence. The way people talk and act in these things has always baffled me. They just feel so robotic. I mean, look at this.
Have a great first day, Dad.
That kid did not mean that. Also, this is a Kohl's commercial. And you wouldn't know that by looking at it, because all it is a kid walking away from his dad's car towards his school. I'm not even sure what it's trying to sell me. Is it the car? Probably not, because this is a Kohl's commercial, but they barely show beneath the character's necks, so I don't know. Looks to me like they didn't spend too much Kohl's cash on this one. Also this. Why are these children so dirty? Looks like they've been left on a shelf and only let down in early September. And now I'm not one to typically be too invested in the lore of a Macy's ad, but if anyone can explain this to me, please do so pronto. Now I bet you're wondering what on earth these commercials have to do with that really cool pencil shine I showed you earlier. And to answer your curiosity, nothing. Yeah, you'd think back to school commercials would advertise stuff that you need to be successful once you go back to school, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong in that assumption. The thing is, instead of them being for stuff you think, like pencils, paper, they're instead for clothing. About 99% of these commercials are for clothes, because going to school naked is a public indecency. And I also guess you don't really need to be sold on a pencil, because most people know you kinda need to write to be able to do work in school. And there are commercials for school supplies in general. They just always say something along the lines of, get the stuff you need to not be a
complete disappointment. Maybe actually achieve something for once in your sad life.
Only at Walmart. Yeah, they never get too specific and usually just serve as a reminder that school's coming, and you should probably pick up a calculator that you'll eventually lose. How can we talk about back to school commercials without talking about this absolute banger?
These tales for back to school. Denim haircut.
If that song isn't played at my funeral, I'm not dying. Now, if we look into a subgenre of clothing commercials, you'll notice that shoes are also marketed as a back-to-school item. How, you may ask? By busting a move in Converse All-Stars. Because really, how else are they gonna advertise shoes? No, seriously, I can't think of any way that isn't weird. I've been neglecting a whole genre of back-to-school ad for far too long in this video, and I need to put an end to it. Technology. Something you really only need starting in high school, but unfortunately has fallen into the hands of whoever made this. Companies like Best Buy will try their hardest every year to get broke college kids to buy a laptop from them. It's almost like they have a warehouse full of them that they'll drown in if they don't sell. I swear if I see one more ad with a white guy with brown hair trying to sell me a portable study device, I'll be a little bit annoyed about it at the very least. But it has a touchscreen! Why? Who asked you that feature? Just buy an iPad, you freak! And all the commercials have the same setup. Young adult enters the store confused. Best Buy employee guides them around, giving them cool tips and features about the laptop they're trying to sell them. And then, boom! Best Buy logo. I'm sure these commercials work. I mean, why would they make them if they didn't? But they really need to get some new material, like a folder. And these commercials also usually feature an accessory of some kind, like a keyboard or headphones or a printer, and sometimes a chair, which is a little bit of a reach, But yeah, I kind of get it. Tech companies will also use the back-to-school season to try to sell you video games, the #1 enemy of productivity. I'm not sure whose idea this was, but hey, why not try to encourage kids to bring their Switch to school? I mean, that could only end positively. Spoiler alert! It does not end positively. Whether you're in 3rd grade or going into the 3rd year of high school, we can all agree that those pencil signs were really cool. Follow me on Twitter